Alright guys, thank you so much for joining today. This video that you're going to be watching addresses a very important question. Did Jesus exist at the time of Moses? Now, if he existed at the time of Moses, before he was born, does that mean he's God? Let's watch this. It's very interesting. By the way, the video is actually coming from the channel of God Logic Apologetics. He is a great young man. He's doing a great job for Jesus. Let's watch the video, by the way. Let's go.
David Wood and Alex O'Connor just had a fire debate on whether or not Jesus claimed to be God, and I happened to be there in attendance. And let me tell you, it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I think that David came out on top ultimately, but both sides argued interesting points. Now, Alex O'Connor, he came from an angle when it came to whether or not Jesus pre-existed, and he used an argument that surprised me.
David's already talked about the angel of Yahweh, and there is the suggestion that the angel of Yahweh is Jesus. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. For a start, if you turn to Hebrews chapter...
Let's make one thing clear. An angel simply means a messenger. Now, Yahweh here being the Father, or God the Father, Jesus being his messenger is very simple in that case, right? In that particular context. It's not hard to understand. But sometimes they try to confuse you with things that don't make sense. Let's keep on watching.
Chapter 1, the very first verse says, "In the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son." In these last days. If Jesus is the angel of the Lord, way back in Exodus, the story of the Exodus, why is it that Hebrews says he's only spoken to us through the Son in the last few days?
Now, there are a number of reasons why this caught me off guard. One is because the title of the debate is, "Did Jesus claim to be God?" And so you don't have Jesus directly speaking in Hebrews. And so I was surprised that Alex went to Hebrews, let alone Hebrews chapter 1, to argue that Jesus did not pre-exist. So I, immediately recognized this. And like Hebrews chapter 1 is one of my favorite chapters. It's really the last place you want to go to try to prove that Jesus is not God or that he did not pre-exist his human birth. Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, period, is the last place you want to go. And here's why.
Oh, got boy, a question
from Avery. All right. Oh, you're on the mic? Okay. All right, for sure. What's going on, guys? So this is a question for Alex, man. How you doing, man?
Hey,
you mentioned,
God Logic.
Yes, yes, sir. You mentioned in Hebrews 1 where, God is speaking, or God spoke to our, through prophets. Now he speaks to us through his Son, and you're saying, where was Jesus then, back then? He should have been active. And so, regarding Hebrews, I just want to read you this and get your thoughts on this, okay? It's Hebrews 11. Regarding Moses, it says, "By faith, Moses," and I'm going to just skip down to 25 and 26 for time, "choosing rather to be mistreated with the people of God than to enjoy the fleeting pleasures of sin, he considered the reproach of Christ greater wealth than the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking to the reward." So how is it that Moses can be considering Christ's disapproval if Christ wasn't around for him to disapprove?
Yeah, that is a great question. So Christ, he regarded disgrace for the sake of Christ as greater value than the treasures of Egypt because he was looking ahead to his reward. Now, that's something which I think it's a good point. I mean, of course, I can offer a Christological interpretation of this, which sort of says that Christ is promised as the Redeemer of mankind, and we're looking at this in retro. Where's he gone? Oh, there you are. And we're looking and just dropped it and left.
So did you say that Christ is a Redeemer of mankind? Okay. So that makes a lot of sense, all right? If you're a redeemer of mankind, that means that you're the Messiah. So Jesus is the Messiah. Let's keep on watching.
And I suppose we're looking at this in retrospect, and he regarded disgrace for the sake of Christ. Yeah, I do think that in this instance, Hebrews is probably presenting Jesus as, I don't know about the angel of Yahweh, but certainly we're looking at a high Christology in Hebrews, yeah.
So close.
But, yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, let's go to the next question because we only got a few. He's so close, guys.
But I have no, for what it's worth, I have no problem saying that Hebrews has a high Christology. That's kind of not an issue to me. But I think it is interesting to suggest that as a retort to the idea of the angel of Yahweh being Jesus, I think that is an excellent point. Yeah.
Yes.
Great job, Avery. All right.
He admitted it.
You see why?